Today is Florida, New York, and Oklahoma, I believe, primary day. And the biggest story I would say that's going to come out of these primaries probably is who is the Democrat contender going to be to go up against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in November's election. The favorite right now, by a pretty massive amount, is Charlie Crist to be the Democrat nominee. And there's a joke that goes, a Democrat, a Republican, and an independent walk into a bar, and the bartender says, "Hey, how you doing, Charlie?" Because Charlie Crist has been a Democrat, a Republican, and an independent in his political career so far in Florida. I suspect that Ron DeSantis is going to win by 7 or 8 points. And I talked about this just now on the Clay and Buck show. Ron DeSantis is by far the best possible candidate for Donald Trump to select as vice president. Now, DeSantis and Trump have been feuding a bit. And by feuding, I just mean maybe there's a little bit of tension in their relationship. For instance, DeSantis said he wasn't going to ask Trump for an endorsement. But to DeSantis's credit, he has been among the most vociferous attackers of the Mar-a-Lago raid, which I'm going to get to in a minute, as the FBI and the Department of Justice are essentially just letting everyone in the media know about every single detail associated with the affidavit that led to their raid on the Mar-a-Lago home of Donald Trump. So I'm going to get to that in a moment. But DeSantis has been the best possible defender of Trump, because my argument would be DeSantis is disciplined Trump. Trump is bull in a china shop, breaking everything imaginable, even though he gets to oftentimes the right results. That is Trump. DeSantis is a more targeted and disciplined, I would say, advocate for many of the same policies. And I think DeSantis did an amazing job on COVID, and he deserves, based on that, to be a legitimate candidate for president of the United States. So with that in mind, why not pair Trump and DeSantis and argue this is a 12-year ticket? Because the biggest downside, I would say, of Trump being the nominee in 2024 is actually that Trump only has one term to serve. So by 2026, basically he's a lame duck, and everybody is already turning towards 2028. So is the best possible outcome actually DeSantis to be his vice president, let them run together, let them get out there and make the case that this is a 12-year move? Now, I'm not sure DeSantis would do it. I still think DeSantis might well run against Trump. But if we wanted to have like a coalition of the best possible candidates, then Trump as president and DeSantis as vice president would make the most sense. Now, I understand some of you out there would say that would be the Trump argument. Some of you out there would say, hey, I want DeSantis to be the overall president, and he needs to run for president as well. And I would welcome that. I 100% would welcome that, because I want as many top candidates to get out there as possible. Remember, Trump triumphed over 17 or 18 or 19, whatever the total number of contenders was when he ended up being the nominee. I think the only person who can run against Trump and beat Trump in the Republican primary is DeSantis. And I'm not sure he could do it, but I believe he is the only person who could do it. No other Republican has a chance. So I don't know if DeSantis would be willing to be Trump's vice president. He might well say no. But if that were the ticket, I love DeSantis's ability to make to make arguments. And look, I would be happy with either Trump or DeSantis as the nominee. But Trump, DeSantis, 2024, DeSantis is going to win by 7 or 8 points over, I expect, Charlie Crist. I expect that he's going to be the nominee, and we're going to find out about that tonight when the polls officially close in Florida, that he's going to beat Nikki Fried. And then, again, DeSantis got $130 million in the bank, or whatever the heck it is. He's going to cruise to a victory, and then the question is going to immediately start to pivot. What is going to happen in 2023? What is the situation going to be there?